Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another deep dive from the Morse Global Finance podcast team. I'm John,
I'm Tiffany.
and we're ready to dig into a topic that we know a lot of you are thinking about these days,
Yeah.
gold IRAs.
Gold IRAs. With inflation and the markets being kind of crazy,
Yeah,
it's no wonder everyone's looking for ways to protect their money, right?
absolutely. So today we're going deep on two of the biggest names in the gold IRA world, Noble Gold Investments
Okay.
and Birch Gold Group.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm going to break it all down. There are pros and cons, all the fees, what customers are saying, really everything you need to figure out if one of these companies is right for you.
Yeah, John, we're going way beyond just like the basic stuff you see on websites. We're going to look at the details that really matter so you can decide if one of these companies, or even both, matches up with what you want to do with your money and how much risk you're comfortable with.
Makes sense. So let's start with a little history lesson. First up is Noble Gold Investments. They were founded in 2017 by a guy named Colin Plume.
Interesting.
And what's really interesting is that Noble Gold was kind of born out of that big financial crisis back in 2008.
Right. All right.
Plume had this background in finance and real estate and saw that people needed a company that could make investing in precious metals easier to understand, especially for folks who kind of lost faith in those traditional investments after 2008.
It's crazy how those big events,
I know.
totally change how people think about money.
Yeah.
2008, it really shook everybody up. And a lot of people turned to gold because it felt safer,
Yeah.
Historically, gold kind of holds its value when things are shaky.
Yeah.
It's something you can actually hold in your hand. It's
Yeah.
not like stocks or bonds that feel like, just numbers on a screen, especially when the market's going up and down like crazy.
That's a great point. And it seems like Noble Gold really understood that people wanted that feeling of security and simplicity.
Yeah.
They're known for these things called survival packs, where you can get started with a gold IRA for only $2,000.
Wow.
Now, I'm curious, from your perspective, does starting that small, does it make sense?
That's a good question. It's definitely a smart way to get people in the door, right?
Yeah.
For someone who's not sure about putting a lot of money in, $2,000 feels doable.
Right.
Less scary,
Yeah.
But we got to think about the whole picture.
Okay.
Starting small might mean you don't have as many choices within the IRA. Maybe it's better to save up a bit more so you can really take advantage of everything Noble Gold offers.
That makes a lot of sense. So starting small could be a good first step. But it's not the whole story. We need to look at all the investment options.
Exactly.
And speaking of which, Noble Gold doesn't just offer gold and silver bullion, right? They've also got rare coins
Oh, cool.
and even some digital currency options.
Interesting.
Plus, they make it super easy to get set up. They have a buyback program, secure storage, and they really focus on educating their clients.
They're hitting all the right notes, especially for someone who's brand new to precious metals, right?
Yeah.
And that buyback program, that's a good thing because it makes it easier to sell if you need to, You don't have to go out and find a buyer yourself.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And the education part, that's key. It shows they really want people to understand precious metals and make good decisions.
It sounds like they're trying to make it as easy as possible for you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They're a pretty new company, founded in 2016. Does that make you nervous at all?
It's natural to be a little cautious with newer companies. Having a long track record makes people feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
But just because a company is new doesn't mean they're not good.
Yeah.
It's important to look for independent reviews, check their rating with the Better Business Bureau, and really, dig into their history and how they've been doing. That's where a deep dive like this comes in handy. We're doing that work for you.
Exactly. We're giving you the info you need to make a good decision. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about Birch Gold Group.
Okay.
They were founded back in 2003, so they've been around a lot longer than Noble Gold.
Much longer.
And one thing that jumps out right away is that they're endorsed by Ben Shapiro. They definitely have some name recognition going for them.
Yeah, for sure.
But how much does a celebrity endorsement really matter when you're making a financial decision?
That's a good question. It's definitely a powerful marketing tool, right?
Yeah.
People tend to trust familiar faces,
Uh-huh.
and that can definitely influence how they choose to invest their money.
Right.
But it's super important to look beyond the endorsement and really check out the company's track record, their fees, what services they offer.
Yeah.
Don't just go with a company because a celebrity likes them, Do your own research, and that's exactly what we're doing here today.
Love it. Okay, let's dig into what Birch Gold actually offers. They really emphasize investor education.
Okay.
They offer personalized customer service, and they have a wide range of metals to choose from, gold and silver, but also platinum and palladium.
Wow, that's a good selection.
They can also help you with IRA rollovers, which can be a pretty confusing process.
Yeah, rollovers can be tricky. It can be a good idea to move your money from a traditional 401k into a gold IRA.
Okay.
It can be a smart way to diversify your retirement savings, but you need to know what you're doing, right? Birch Gold can help you move those funds without getting hit with any penalties.
Okay.
They'll walk you through everything, which is nice, but you got to be clear about all those fees associated with rollovers, because those can be different depending on who you go with.
Really good point. Transparency is so important.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, Birch Gold might offer that personalized service and experience, but they have a higher minimum investment, $10,000, compared to Noble Gold's $2,000.
Right.
And we've seen some reports of aggressive sales tactics, which is a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah, you never want to feel pressured into a decision about your money.
For sure.
It's your hard-earned money. You should feel good about the choices you're making.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
Giving you a clear picture of what each company offers, good and bad.
Exactly. So you can choose the path that feels right for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've got a good overview of each company's background, let's get down to business and compare their fees, investment options, and what their customers are saying side by side.
Let's do it.
Right.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The fees.
Yeah, the numbers.
When you set up a gold IRA with Noble Gold, no setup fee.
Really?
But Birch Gold charges $50 to get started.
Okay, so you save a little bit up front with Noble Gold.
Right.
But then what about the costs every year?
Okay, so Noble Gold's annual admin fee is $80.
Okay.
And then they charge $150 a year for storage.
Gotcha.
Birch Gold is $100 for the admin fee and $100 for storage.
Interesting. So it sounds like Birch Gold might be a little cheaper over time?
Yeah, could be.
But what about those minimum investments? That was a big difference.
Right. So Noble Gold, you need at least $20,000 to open a gold IRA.
Okay.
Birch Gold, it's $10,000.
Right.
But remember the survival packs from Noble Gold?
Right.
You can buy metals directly for just $2,000.
So if you want to start small and kind of test it out,
Exactly.
Noble Gold might be the way to go.
Yeah.
But if you're ready to invest a bigger chunk of money, Birch Gold's lower annual fees might save you money in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. It all depends on your situation, right?
Right.
But it's not just about comparing numbers. We need to know what those fees actually cover.
That's true.
Like, does the storage fee include insurance? Are there any hidden costs that we need to know about? You should definitely ask both companies about all that before making any decisions.
Yeah, you don't want any surprises later on.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so let's see what actual customers have to say.
Yeah. Let's get the inside scoop.
Exactly. We went through reviews from all over the place to see what people's real experiences have been like with both Noble Gold and Birch Gold.
It's like unfiltered truth, right?
Right.
Okay, starting with Noble Gold, they consistently get really high ratings everywhere you look. Better Business Bureau, they've got a 4.98 out of 5.
It's really high.
Nearly 200 customer reviews.
Wow.
And then Google My Business, they're at 4.9 out of 5.
Okay.
Over 550 reviews there.
Wow.
Trustpilot, same thing. 4.9 out of 5, over 460 reviews. And then Consumer Affairs, they're perfect.
Perfect.
5 out of 5 from
Uh-huh.
over 790 reviews.
Those are impressive numbers.
Yeah. Sounds like they're doing something right.
What are people actually saying?
The main things we see are that their staff is helpful.
Okay.
The whole process is easy, and they really do focus on education like we talked about.
Right.
People like that Noble Gold takes the time to explain everything clearly so they can make smart choices about their money.
Right.
Which goes back to their whole mission, making precious metals easy to understand for everyone.
Yeah.
But we did see a few people mention that communication could be better after you set everything up.
Okay.
And some people weren't totally clear on the fees.
Gotcha. So there's always room for improvement.
Right, but they're doing pretty well overall.
So what about Birch Gold Group? What are their reviews like?
Birch Gold generally has good reviews too, but their scores are a little more up and down depending on where you look. Better Business Bureau, they have 4.38 out of 5.
Right.
Based on nearly 100 reviews.
Okay.
They have an AAA rating with the Business Consumer Alliance, but that's only from 7 reviews.
Oh, so not as many people chiming in there.
Right, exactly. Then on Trustpilot, they've got 4.2 out of 5 from over 180 reviews.
Okay.
And TrustLink, 4.9 out of 5 with over 135 reviews. So a little more variation than Noble Gold.
Interesting. So what's causing those different scores? Any patterns in the feedback?
A lot of people say Birch Gold has really knowledgeable reps
Okay,
and that the process is smooth and they answer questions quickly.
good, good.
They like that personal touch. But some people complained about hidden fees that end up costing them money.
There's that transparency issue again.
Yeah, it seems like that's something to really pay attention to,
Yeah.
no matter which company you're thinking about.
For sure, you need to know the full cost.
Absolutely. You need to understand how those fees will impact your investment over time.
Yeah,
Even small percentages can make a big difference down the road.
that's a good point.
Like, let's say Birch Gold charges a 1% commission on gold purchases.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like much, but if you're investing $10,000, that's $100 gone right away.
Yeah,
And over time, those little fees add up and eat into your profits.
that makes sense. So we've looked at the fees. We've seen what customers are saying.
We've got a pretty good idea of what each company offers.
So the big question, which one would you recommend?
Ooh, the million-dollar question, right? Well, if I'm being honest, I'm going to stick to my neutral stance.
Sorry, playing it safe.
But seriously, they both have good things and not so good things. And the best choice really comes down to what each person wants,
Yeah.
how much risk they're comfortable with, what their goals are.
Mm-hmm.
What might be perfect for one person might not be right for someone else.
Okay, that's fair.
It's about finding the right fit for you.
I get it.
Mm.
But I got to say, I'm leaning towards Noble Gold,
Oh, yeah.
especially for people who are new to gold IRAs.
Mm-hmm.
They're all about education. Their minimum investment is lower with those survival packs.
Yeah.
And their customer reviews are consistently great.
I can see why you like them, John.
Yeah.
Making it easy to get started, that can make a big difference for someone who's just dipping their toes into precious metals.
Exactly. It feels less scary.
Right.
Like you're taking control of your money, but you're not jumping in head first.
I like that.
But you're right. Everyone needs to do their own research and figure out what works best for them.
Absolutely.
This deep dive is just the beginning.
The starting point.
We've given you the tools,
And the information.
but you have to make the final decision.
It's your money, after all.
Okay, so what else should people keep in mind as they're doing their research?
Don't just jump into gold because it's popular or because some celebrity told you to
Right.
do your homework. Check out what's happening in the gold market. Compare fees from different companies.
Right.
Don't limit yourself to just Noble Gold and Birch Gold. There are other good options out there.
That's true, like Augusta Precious Metals and Gold Co.
Exactly. It's like shopping for anything else.
Yeah,
Compare prices, read reviews, find what you like best.
makes sense.
And most importantly, talk to a financial advisor.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Someone who can give you personalized advice
Right.
based on your situation.
Yep.
They can help you figure out how much risk you're comfortable with, create a portfolio that matches your goals,
Right.
and navigate all the complicated stuff about IRAs and precious metal.
They're like your financial guide.
Exactly, guiding you toward a secure retirement.
Love it. So to wrap it all up, both Noble Gold Investments and Birch Gold Group can help you protect your savings with precious metals.
They can.
But in the end, it's up to you to decide what's best for you.
Absolutely. Don't just follow the hype, dig deep, ask questions, and take control of your financial journey.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Noble Gold and Birch Gold, all those fees, what customers are saying, and like you said, doing your own research,
Yeah.
talking to a financial advisor, all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
But before we wrap things up completely, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier
Okay.
about diversifying your portfolio.
Yeah.
So how does a gold IRA actually fit into a good retirement plan?
Ooh, that's a really important question.
Yeah.
It's key to remember that a gold IRA shouldn't be your only retirement strategy.
Okay.
It's just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Right.
One way to diversify your investments and maybe protect yourself against inflation or those crazy market swings.
Okay.
You should still have a mix of things in your portfolio.
Gotcha.
Stocks, bonds, maybe even real estate. It depends on how much risk you like and what your long-term goals are.
So don't put all your eggs in the gold basket.
Exactly. Diversification is key.
I like that.
It means you're not putting all your money in one place.
Right.
Different investments do well in different situations.
Okay.
Having a mix can help you avoid big losses and maybe even get better returns over time.
Makes sense.
And historically, gold kind of does the opposite of the stock market.
Oh, interesting.
When stocks go down, gold usually holds steady or even goes up.
Wow.
So having some gold in your retirement savings can kind of cushion the blow if the market takes a nosedive.
That makes sense, like a safety net.
Yeah, exactly. But how much gold should you have?
Yeah. Is there like a magic number?
It really depends.
Okay.
Your age, how much risk you're okay with, what you want to achieve with your investments,
Right.
your overall financial situation, it all plays a role.
Yeah.
A financial advisor can help you figure out the right amount.
Oh, good.
But in general, experts usually recommend putting somewhere between 5% and 15% of your portfolio in precious metals.
So a decent chunk, but not everything.
Right. It's all about finding that sweet spot,
Yeah.
that balance that works for you.
But even with gold, there's still risk involved, right?
Yeah, gold prices can go up and down.
Right.
There are no guarantees. You got to think long term and be ready for some bumps along the way.
That's good advice. So what we've learned today is that choosing the right gold IRA provider and really understanding how to invest in precious metals, it's not a quick decision.
Yep.
It takes research. It takes looking into things, and it probably takes getting advice from a professional.
For sure.
We've looked at Noble Gold. We've looked at Birch Gold.
Uh-huh.
We talked about those fees, those customer reviews, and how important it is to have a diversified portfolio.
And don't forget that financial advisor.
Right now, it's your turn to take all this information.
And make it your own.
Do your research, compare your options, and find what works for you.
That's the key. Informed decisions lead to a more secure and hopefully prosperous retirement.
Well said, Tiffany. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
You got it, John. Always happy to chat about all things finance.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and take control of your financial future. We'll catch you next time on the Moore's Global Finance Podcast.